So, this will probably be the only time I'll ever review this game. This is mostly because I did say that a lot of times that the reason why I was never going to do a Project-06 review was basically because it's already been said and done. Like, every single stage has been amazing, all the animations are incredible, blah 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 blah. Everything, but yeah, I decided to just finally review a bit of the game itself because there's a lot of things with this, starting with Sonic, of course. Now, when it comes to Sonic, in P06, Sonic feels much better to play, but this is mostly because thanks to the changes that P06 did to help Sonic. Not only does he have a spammable spin dash, which is honestly a thing that should have been in the game originally, even trying Legacy of Solaris does not fix that issue. And most of the things is that most of his buttons are now separated, meaning that you can slide in different buttons. Homing attack still. There's even the double homing attack, which takes a lot of practice to get it, but I won't spoil how to unlock that one. Another thing that Sonic has that really is pretty unique is the gems, obviously. Because we don't have a story mode for this game, obviously the gems are spread around the locations, which for the rest of the updates of P06, if Chaos X has like ideas for story mode, I recommend to still stick with the idea that the gems are spread around, because that's honestly a really good idea. So yeah, we have the blue gem, obviously increasing speed. Purple gem, which is triple jump. Red gem that slows down time, pretty useless to be honest. We have the green gem, which makes a tornado, which is an LOE for a lot of attacks. We have the yellow gem, which obviously is for a magnet for the rings. The white gem makes a stronger homing attack, which is a homing smash. And what else? We have the cyan, which is just a pointing somewhere, and the gem just brings you there. Not very useful for me. It gets me killed every single time I play in that, and it's just really not that fantastic. But then we have the rainbow gem, which obviously, if you don't know, it was a cut thing from the original that allows him to transform to Supersonic, which another useful thing. Now, in terms of the stages, the level design is basically the same, but that's not really an issue because the level design of 06 was already good. The only issue the game had is that the game played like trash. Then we have other characters, which the footage will not show, is Tails and Knuckles as the Amigo characters from this game. Honestly, what I love about this game is that the idea of these characters that they have like a specific type. The speed type, the power type, and the flying type. The same ones from Sonic Heroes, and I honestly never knew that until I played the game a lot more times and see people pointing out that thing. But honestly, from everything, I say this game biggest advantage is overall the physics of the game, because it just not only does it put the original physics of 06 to absolute shame, but it also brings shame to all the other adventure style physics that really weren't that fantastic. Some of them were janky. SA2, I'm looking at you. But yeah, basically with Sonic, the only changes that he actually needed was just a change on the physics and have some ability separate the different buttons, and all the characters. Tails, has the tail swipe from SA1, the dummy ring bombs and a lot of stuff. Knuckles is outright, I say, is fine. Not the best Knuckle of history, but overall just a pretty good Knuckles we have here. And when it comes to overall everything else, I say Sonic and in all of his stages are pretty much done. There's just no need to ever come back to Sonic's version, which when it comes to the bosses, that's not really good thing to just maybe let's change it, because that's not gonna happen. Other things that this campaign offers for that is the Sonic and Elise tag character, which obviously is good. But let's head to Shadow next. Shadow is just straight up my favorite character in this game. If you want to know why I used to put Shadow on my tier list videos, is because he was just that good. But after a while, that has changed a lot, but I'll talk about that another time. Shadow has a combat system that, while yes, is pressing just one button while smashing it to destroy enemies, you get this sense of speed and just power from Shadow that is just so good. And another thing I love about Shadow is mostly his other ways of combat, like the chaos powers he has. He has 3 levels. The first one is just a normal power up, which is allows him to do a chaos spear that does damage. He actually can teleport through all enemies depending on who's closer to you. We have the second level, which increases the chaos spears and of course makes Shadow much faster on his powers. Then the third one allows him to do Chaos Blast and a Chaos Lance. I think Chaos Lance can already been done with the second level, I'm not sure. But the Chaos Blast was so good in this game that it makes the one in 06 to look like nothing. Another thing is Rouge and Omega, the amigo characters from Shadow that are actually pretty good. Rouge, I said many times that when it comes to Rouge and Shadow, no, my bad, with Rouge and Knuckles, I would prefer Knuckles because Knuckles' combat is actually much better than the one from Rouge. But not to say that Rouge is horrible, no, not even close, no. Rouge is actually pretty good, and her only 2 stages has this amazingly treasure hunting style that really fits her character pretty well. So props to Chaos for thinking that idea, including for Tropical Jungle, which in the original was just fly through the stages and just beat it in under almost like 10 seconds. Next, Omega, which is a powerhouse. Omega has this lock-on missiles that are actually pretty good and are now faster because of the patch. And he has this one view shooting, which is the same from the cutscene of 06 where he shoots Mephiles a bajillion of times. And that one is turned into a mechanic for Omega, and that's just genius because it will make you feel like this powerful robot that Eggman created, and you're using it against him. Well, even if you're not battling Eggman as Omega. But yeah, it's just basically just what Sonic and his team did, but Shadow's version of Team Dark is just so much better. If you want to know which of these I prefer to play, it's obviously Team Dark, and I hope the hard and hard stages just obviously capture that feeling of playing as Team Dark, because even though I still have not played those stages just yet, I am pretty curious to see how will be done in P06, because there's some of them that do require a glitch to beat it, obviously, but obviously that's not gonna happen. Another thing is that I love about this is that in P06, sorry, it's just pretty hard to talk about this game. Another thing I love is how much the slope jumps have been buffed, just be honest. And other thing has changed as well. You also have a lot of customizable things to do. Like you can put it on the E3 field of view, the camera type from retail, a lot of things, including the jump type. I use the adventure jump type because that 3D ball is just so spectacular. And even the homing abilities. We have 3 types actually. Oh no, actually 4. We have retail. We have the original as well. We have curve, straight as well, and then we have legacy. Legacy is honestly the best one in my opinion, even though you kind of need straight to use the double homing attack with Sonic, as I was stated by Stelmo98. Follow him if you want to know a lot about this P06 thing, and even look at other reviews, because this review is just not going to be that fantastic. And we have curve, which curve works more like the SA1 and 2 jump, which honestly, no, I don't like that one. It's kind of fast still. It's not my preferred type to play as. And the straight is just a similar one to 06. And now we have retail, which retail is simply the same. Wait a second, actually now I'm mistaken. There's only straight, curve, and legacy, because retail comes from the jumps, which is really stupid to me. But I honestly can say that these changes to P06, including some of the quality changes that you can actually do to the game. Like, you can change the water reflection, which I always put it on performance, because if you put it on like a standard, it will do a lot of harm to you when it comes to overall your performance on the game. It will lag. Let me get this straight on one of my issues with this game, and it's not mostly the game's fault. It's mostly because the game is so freaking laggy. I think I'll correct it to say frame drops, because this is honestly something that the manual of P06 does, which, please read it. Please just read the manual. If you can't read, then it sucks to be you. But yeah, read the manual, that you'll know that Chaos X has already stated there are frame drops in this game, and the way to fix it is by leave and opening again. Kind of sucks, to be honest, but hey, at least there's a way to actually fix that issue. So yeah, after that we have even Silver, which the footage is not showing a lot, that we're not heading towards him, but Silver. Oh my god, Silver the Hedgehog has finally gotten the redemption arc he freaking deserved. So the footage will show Silver soon, but my god, Silver is such a beast in this game. And now that I played as Silver a lot, I can say that. I can definitely say Silver, of all characters, is just straight up so freaking good in this game. Like, if you thought that he was so terrible in 06, this one just puts that Silver to shame, bro. One of my favorite things of Silver that I obviously love is the teleport dash that he does, because my god, you go flying in distances with that one. But you of course get upgrades to make him more powerful and have a longer duration on that meter with the jump dash. I think it was called the jump dash. I think it's teleport dash, actually. It's teleport dash. My apologies. The teleport dash is just so freaking busted in this game, and it's just so good to use it. Still, the footage is still showing Shadow, because I was recording a lot of footage for Shadow, and I did not realize I had a lot. But yeah, I freaking love Silver in the game, because most of his things are based around him controlling the physics of the game. He obviously can still throw objects, and of course, like do these ESP overdrive, which is just so broken. And when I mean by broken, I mean broken in a very good way, because it's just to show how powerful these characters are. But god, man, I freaking love Silver's powers, man. He has the Psycho Smash ability, which is a reference to the Generations boss fight, which is honestly pretty neat. And other stuff that I like about Silver is mostly his ESP Overdrive, which is an ability that he does a mini Chaos Blast. Well, not an actual Chaos Blast, it's just an LOE attack that does, like, one-shots everything. But the trade-off is that you get a longer duration on everything you do. Psycho Smash, you can do a lot of them. Hovering, you can do that a lot. Like, my god, I cannot stress this enough, how good that freaking thing is. And, of course, other things that I love about this game is just how now the story is a bit better on how things happen and everything. For example, this is a thing that I like, the lighting effects on the game, because in some occasions, like take for example, Shadow's Dusty Desert. Well, not Shadow's Dusty Desert. Shadow's Wave Ocean. Like, let's take that for example. That Wave Ocean is in a sunset because it's connected to the story. The way it is connected is that this takes place in a very important moment from 06, and plus that it would make no sense that why would it take the place at day. Another stuff I love is mostly these cutscenes that happen. Like, for example, when you open a level and you get this cutscene, like an interaction between the characters, like for say Sonic and Shadow just saying, "Shadow, don't be late," and I love that because they give characters. You give like moments for these characters to interact. Normally we don't see that in many Sonic games. And what I would recommend for Chaos X for that is like keep doing them. Like I don't see why they're so rare to see. And we're talking about the boss fights and everything from in the next release. For every single boss fight, they should have like a unique version of them, unique versions to make them feel like really important bosses to beat. Now the footage finally showing Silver. Thank God. I don't know why there were so many footage that there were repeats of other moments. But Silver, my God, like if you have never played P06 and you think, oh well, Silver played horrible. If he played in horrible in 06, then I guess that he plays horrible in P06 as well. You'd be so wrong, man. This game, like my God, has transformed Silver into a nothing character into a total badass. Like seriously, he's so cool to play as because not only his psychokinesis are so stupidly powerful, but the stages he's in, they're just more fun than Sonic and Shadow's. Now, with saying which is my least favorite stages, I would say with Sonic would have to be Dusty Desert because I really do not enjoy that stage a lot. With Shadow must be as well the same. It is Dusty Desert because it's a slow-paced one. I do think Radical Train is actually the hardest one for Shadow and Sonic because S-ranking those stages are actually pretty hard. And yeah, you do have to S-rank these stages to get these power-ups. Like Shadow's on inhibitor mode, which is pretty stupid, but it drains faster, which is a nice little detail. The fact that you have to actually know correctly when to use this power-up, which normally I don't use it because destroying enemies with it is fun at all, but if you cannot maintain it, then what's the point? Then with Sonic, of course, is the Rainbow Gem to get Super Sonic, which honestly is super cool, even though you would not want to be Supersonic a lot. And then Silver's ESP mode, which of course, as I stated it, allows you to have a full longer duration on everything you do. I want to wonder what would be like without the what was Sigil Awakening? No, it's the Lotus of Resilience. Yeah, if you don't get that and you get the ESP mode, I honestly want to wonder how would that turn out. It's kind of crazy how many power-ups are in this game. It's just like, even if the other characters don't get power-ups, even though in the original like idea for the Silver release, Blaze was supposed to have that same like mini ESP like Silver's, but her version was just gonna be her like flames going like at full power. It really was cool, but it made no sense. Why would Blaze have it and Silver not? So Chaos just removed that and give it to Silver instead, because honestly that made more sense because he was obviously the character who it was the highlight of the release he was in. And it's just crazy how this game has definitely done a lot. I said this in the 2-hour video of the P06 movie, but this game is so special to me. Not only because it's a game that finally allowed me to play a Sonic 06 that is actually like fixed and more fun to play, but it's the fact that it gave me a different perspective on Sonic 06. Now here's the thing, Sonic 06, is it a good game? Heck no, it's not a good game. But it's a game that had so much potential in it that is so sad just to think how bad the game turned out. Because if Sega didn't just care about money and decided to just like release the game or like delay it. Let's say if Sega delayed the game, it would have not have been this good game, but it would have definitely been a fine game, and it would not have killed the franchise like so badly. What P06 has shown is that the game has potential. That's the thing. P06 doesn't say, oh yeah, 06 was always good. No, it was never. It was never good. What P06 just did is to unleash the lost potential of that game. And I honestly can say that Chaos X has finally done almost like so-called the impossible. Just like with the no connect patch of Sonic Free Riders, which actually came actually just came like way later after this game. But yeah, I really could tell you a lot of things about this game, but I just can't because there are just so many reviews already. So I would fully recommend people go watch the other reviews. The one I recommend mostly is Jay's reviews video of P06. Even others, because every single one of them has told you a lot how the game works. Like what changes have been done and everything. This game is certainly fantastic, and I hope you'll enjoy this game. I would recommend you to download the game if your PC can run it, and thank you for sticking into this review if you did. With all that said, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.